Good morning once again, and welcome to the Haven Financial Group radio show. I appreciate you listening this morning. Give us a call at any time, 612-504-8400. If you're looking for more information on any of these key retirement topics, or I call it the retirement puzzle pieces, that really can transform your financial future and your retirement future, that might be a reason to give us a call or check out our website, havenfinancialgroup.com. All kinds of classes on there, whether you're a client or not a client, whether you're just, kicking the tires on somebody else because you're not happy. Come into any of these classes, havenfinancialgroup.com. They're on there. I'll just point out a couple. We have a big retirement dinner class at Porter Creek coming up in Burnsville. It's Ask All the Experts. We have our CPA, we have our estate planning attorneys, our investment team, our certified financial planners, all in this retirement dinner workshop. And it's all educational. It's all informative. I know the first thing some listeners are thinking, they're going to try to sell us something. Not a chance. In fact, it's all educational, like all of ours. The materials are included. And then also at our education center on site, some Social Security classes, Medicare Made Simple. Too many to get into here in July and every month throughout the year. We strongly encourage it. And guess what? Education is where it starts. I heard somebody say education is education is power, but it's what you do with it that really, really matters. And it's how we meet a lot of people. And it's how we've made a lot of clients over the 11 years, which, by the way, we do more than just stuffy educational events. We like to actually have client events. Maybe you're listening and not a client. Maybe you know a Haven client. Or maybe this sounds really intriguing. August 27th is Charlie's on Prior Lake. Yes, we like to have fun. Pontoon rides, food, fun, fellowship, live music. That's how we give back to our clients. Come on out and visit with us. We'd love to have more opportunity to get to know you and you to get to know us, because that's really what this business is all about.
We're talking today about tailoring a retirement plan that is just for you. And Larry would be the first one to tell you because he has said it here many times. So, Larry, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but I know that you have said many times that people will say to you, one of the biggest adjustments that they have to make when they get to retirement is not getting that weekly or biweekly check. There's got to be a means by which to have income. And your plan is how you put together those checks showing up in the mailbox, or those checks showing up, or the money showing up in your account. It's all based on a plan on how to draw your retirement money. So let's talk a little bit about a tailored retirement income strategy. I know that you sit down, and this is sort of where you start with people every time they come through the door.
Well, actually, I'll say where it all starts. If you come on and visit with us, we're going to just have a conversation. It's called a discovery meeting. We do it for every single person that comes in the door. You get to know us. We get to know you. Guess what? We'll sit down and ask lots of questions. You can ask lots of questions. We ask lots of questions. We take notes. What are your goals, aspirations? What's that timeline for you and your spouse if you're married? And then, of course, we'll get into, okay, how do we tailor a plan? I mentioned in the first segment, a budget. What are your fixed expenses? What is the anticipation for your expenses in the early years, the go-go years, the slow-go years, and then the no-go years? What does that look like? What is that timeline? We want to make sure we err on the side of having expenses higher than lower so we can be accurate. Well, then what does that mean for income? And okay, what income sources, again, do you have? Is it a pension? When will Social Security kick in? Will you have to bridge the gap for income because maybe things don't go the same way you thought it was going to go, and life's calendar doesn't cooperate with your calendar? And now we have some gap years between 63 and 65, or full retirement age. I'll even throw in insurance now. You got to bridge so all kinds of variables, which should be all addressed by having conversations, should be addressed by having a good partner that can have these conversations. And at Haven Financial Group, we do all the retirement puzzle pieces, which was the goal 11 years ago when I started the company. And that will lead into, okay, how much do we have in the stock market? What does our cash reserves look like? The bucket strategy, I don't really like that because too many advisors use it, but it is really kind of real. Liquidity, what's a good benchmark for liquidity for a retired couple? I'll just throw the nugget out there. We like to see 50 to 100 grand in a liquid position. What does that mean? Cash, checking, savings, money markets, CDs. You say, why so much? Because there's always something. It's been really hot and the furnace went out. Oh, that's poor timing. The grandkid's birthday, whatever it might be, there's always something. And we really want all the options on the table. The market's down. Well, I don't want to take from there. So we want liquidity, risk investments, and then investments maybe that offer some anchorage, an anchor to your portfolio where principal is protected. It's more conservative, but if the markets are jittery and in the toilet, that means you don't lose any money. So we're going to talk through all of that, and it's not the same for everybody. You know, what we like to make sure is folks have an awareness and an understanding of what they're doing and why they're doing it. And I can tell you so many times, how did you come up with this portfolio? I don't know. They just did it for me. Well, why are you doing it this way? That's a really good question. We have no idea. What are you paying your guy or gal to help you? That's a good question. We have no idea. I would like to see people have more answers than questions. I truly, truly would.
Absolutely. So that gives everybody a sense of, if you come in, what that get to know you meeting and how those steps are followed. And one of the things that you guys do is really tailor a really great program for people on how they can get what you call mailbox money. Walk through some of the strategies that you use to make sure that people have mailbox money. That's cash coming in during retirement.
Well, first of all, it's going to be driven a lot by a tax conversation. Okay, maybe you have a pension, then what's your Social Security, and what additional income do you need to satisfy those monthly expenses? And you said at the very beginning, I've asked the question for years. So you're newly retired. What was the hardest thing about retirement? Not getting a paycheck anymore.
Right.
Makes sense. You've probably been collecting a paycheck for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and now no more mailbox money. So where do you draw from in the most tax efficient way possible? It's why we want people, if possible, to have pre-tax IRA money, Roth IRA money, and brokerage non-qualified money. So you have all the options to choose from, so we can maybe stay in the 12% tax bracket, not kick into the 22 or the 24 or higher tax brackets. We're really going to monitor those withdrawals and where they come from because of tax efficiency. And then we're going to plan, when we built out plans, we factor in an anything else category. Okay, you have your fixed expenses, you have healthcare expense that kicks in. We're going to factor that in as a separate line item. And then an anything else category, whether that's $25,000 a year, it's going to help a lot for maybe a new car every 10 years or whatever that is, maybe a travel budget over the course of those years. These are all things that are going to be baked into that Monte Carlo, call it whatever you want, retirement plan. And it's a plan that we don't shelve. It's ongoing. It's what we're looking at. I mentioned the couple from Lakeville that was in, and they have a plan. We just had to alter it and make some changes because life had some changes, like he lost his job, of course. These are the conversations we have. And we really do, when I say it, it's not just lip service over the radio. It's, if somebody has questions. I'll give you an example. I was just at a business conference. I got back, and my first day back was Thursday morning. I have a full day packed, okay? But I came in, and I had one of my clients come in. She had a question. She's a single lady, and it was unannounced. I said, come on in. Let's address this question right now. Because what it did was it created worry, it created concern, and I knew she would not stop thinking about it.
Right.
So I said, just come on in, 15 minutes, we'll address this. And she left and she goes, thank you so very much. And I go, no, thank you for having the thought of even coming in unannounced to feel comfortable. I'm glad you did what you did. And now you feel better, don't you? And the questions are answered. She goes, I appreciate that so much. That truly is our philosophy. No, there was no surprise invoice. No, there wasn't pressure or anything. We want our clients to have that comfortable feeling to know, I feel coming with the questions, I feel comfortable in the office. And that's for not just me, it's the whole investment team. It's for Lance, it's for Glenn, Isabella, any of those in any of the retirement areas. That's our model. And as long as I'm principal, that's not changing.
So, do you have a plan for Mailbox Money? Do you have someone who can answer your questions when you need them answered? Give the folks at Haven Financial Group a call if the answer is no. 612-504-8400. 612-504-8400. That's how you reach them. Let them know that you'd like to come in, set up an appointment. Go through that, getting to know one another phase there at Haven Financial Group. Everyone needs a partner because none of us knows the answers to all of these questions. This isn't the business that we're in, but the folks at Haven Financial Group are. 612-504-8400 is how you reach them. When we come back, let's talk taxes, tax planning as you head into retirement. This is the Haven Financial Group Radio Show.